Welcome back to Railroads Online. I'm Rever, and we are here, and we have gotten an update. So it's probably been a couple weeks for this update since the time I recorded this video, but I wanted to do it. I was going to take up some time and do some hauling, and I did. I moved a bunch of iron down from the smelter all the way down to the ironworks, which is a decent trip, but you don't get paid a lot for it. And then I was in the process of hauling some lumber up to the iron ore mine. And I just actually bought four, well, I did one other trip, but I bought four new rail cars. I think I'm going to get two more for a total of 12. And that'll be working this guy pretty good. I think I'll feel comfortable taking 12 up and down. And that also means if you do it in sets of three, you do one lumber for two beams, and then it keeps the balance even. So this isn't a multiple of three. So anyway, I might get two more cars. Either that or whatever. We'll see. We still have a money issue, and that's the other reason that I was working. But in the meantime, the update has caused us to not have firewood. Now, I took these down because I've kind of been anticipating that we were going to have an issue with the firewood thing. Not that we were going to have an issue, but I even wanted to maybe make it an actual thing that we would do, where we would provide our own firewood. But now the game has forced it on us. So you can't get firewood from the firewood gods anymore. You have to get it by earning it and doing it. So what I want to do is come here and put in a bit more of a flat space around this turn, because it's the one place in this area. Pretty good. It's the one place in this area around here that these two train lines like all kind of come through here, right? If you're even if you're up at the logging camp, you could stop here and get water and get firewood. So I was thinking just right here, we're going to do a cheap and easy one, and by that I mean we're going to face the part that where you drop off the logs is going to be out towards the tracks. So you'll have to run over and get the firewood from there. But for now, that's fine. It'll be something that's close and taken care of. Probably stay that way forever. But, we'll see. So we're going to need a good 3 or 4 of these. Probably 3 of these at least. Let's cut down some trees because that's what we do in this game. And I want to get this in before we even take a train ride up. So the next thing I think pretty much everyone should do is just head to the logging camp if you haven't already set up these routes. All right, so Firewood Depot. What I mean is instead of putting it the normal way, which is facing us, I think I'd like to try to get it. We need to get it close enough that we can drop stuff off. I can see light under there. I think that's too close. I think it's too close on this side. Let's just go see what that looks like. Yeah. What am I? I'm not even near close. Okay. Now I'm back in the bushes again. I see. I don't know what I was looking at. Yeah, I see a little bit of light behind it. Let's just see what that... Yeah, that might work. So what we have to do is pull up to here, right where that jut out is. It's probably not the best place. Maybe we could have done it further down. Let's get a water tower, because that's also important to our operation. And apparently they're not, it's first I've seen it, but they're not refilling automatically anymore. Oh yeah, look at that. But it says full. Okay, well I don't see us using too much more water than that in most cases. So there we go. So we'll just have to run over here to get firewood. And I do want to do a little bit of an experiment, because I noticed that this has 4 firewood stands. Why does it say this 4 times? Do we get 4 to 1? Is that a thing? Because that would make a lot of sense if we did. So we'll go see. And probably a lot of people already know all these answers because it's been 2 weeks since I made this episode. All right, even though it's right now. All right, so let's go. I think we're on the way. I switched all of the switches that I want to switch. So now that we have this in place, this will give us a place to bring firewood closer. So, we're going to get the firewood out of the logging camp, basically. Let's run over here. And other than that, I don't know if you remember, probably don't, but there's a lot less logs in here. So I took a load of lumber up to the depot and sold it when I was going to pick up these. I figured, well, that load will help pay for the carts. But I do want to get more iron going, which lets us get more rails, which lets us get more coal, which lets us get more of the tools and the steel pipes that we need down south. So it's all part of our goal here. All right, well, let's fire this guy up. Let me detach him. I think I already put on the brakes, and I got all our signals in position. There we go. Should probably. Now, people at this point are having problems with this. A lot of times I look in there F to see if there's anything in it. And then I get, that's right. Now you got to click up to 5 times, right? And then I just pointed these 2 bolts right here. 5, right? And then you look in there again, nothing, right? Full. It went up to 50 and it comes back off a little bit because you start burning it away as soon as you put the first 5 in there. So that's it. And if we had looked in there and we saw that we still had 10 left, you could put 4 pieces of wood in. You see, something's going on here. Why are we not going forward? There we go. There's no link in there, which is a bit odd. I would think there would be a link. All right. So anyway, we're going to head over to the other side of the building here and get these rail cars. We have 6 rail cars for the cordwood, which we've used in earlier episodes. I don't need to go quite that fast. Let me do this V. He's quite so close to the guy. Yeah, so really, I don't see the firewood thing as being that big a deal, other than it is something that you need to do. If you don't like doing it, I guess that's, not as good for you. But to me, it makes sense. It's sort of, like I said, I just wish you didn't get paid for actually doing this, because I think having the fuel is reward enough, in a sense. All right, so we need to switch this one to go back that way. Oops. This is definitely not as overpowered as the other porter. It still does a pretty good job, but it definitely needs a little more power, like a little more regulator to go anywhere. Like which is good, but it also has a lot more wood, so that's nice too, right? We got a lot. You can carry a lot more firewood, so you can go a lot further distance. I didn't mean to stop this much. Now, I do need to stop it anyway, though. Let's get out and put a link in there. I don't like the changes that they made to this, where you now move it and you can't see the number, and so when even if you went to go put it back, you'd have a hard time maybe getting it right on. Sorry, I was playing around and I forgot what I was doing. But it's not the best time to tell you playing with it, but it just doesn't change like it used to. The number doesn't change. Yeah, now we got to decouple these. I'll show you when we're on the road, because it's fairly annoying. Alright, that's all we have to do. Now we're on our way. We should, all our switches should be good. Now when we come back, maybe we'll have to do something, but with switches, we should be able to head right on up there. You know what, let me show you this before we get going. So we have 25 firewood. I want to put 2 more in to get us up to 45. Alright, I grabbed 2. 1, 2. If we hit F, look, I have 44. You know what I mean? I just added 20 by adding those 2 pieces of wood. And a lot of people seem to be struggling with the firewood thing today. Hopefully they have it resolved by the time you guys watch this. But we're going to solve our own firewood problem because we don't have any firewood either. Well, we have firewood in there, and we have firewood. I guess we could take it out of one and put it in the other, right? So if you ran out, you could always bring another one. So one more reason to go get yourself the better porter as soon as you can. It's been fun. I have enjoyed it. You know, I've been driving it around a little while now. Certainly ready to try more of the trains. And I think once you get the hauling that oil, I think we can make close to $500 for a car. Now it's got a fair amount of work to get a carload of it going, but which is what I've been working on, just driving back and forth. And I was probably even going to show one of making sure everybody's coming with us, right? And also, I think this is a new turn for us. We haven't really. Oops, see, there's. Yeah, did you see the way that car jumped around? That's not good. Is it even still? Yeah, I think that's just too sharp. Well, maybe we should pull down a little bit further and move this curb a little further away, because we really haven't been down this way. And I don't know if you guys noticed it. You can go do the replay thing. You'll see the cart jumps right off. And plus, I was having to give it more and more power, and it's a pretty level spot. It's not the kind of spot that I should have to be giving it that much power. So I think that turn is just too sharp. Let's get off the trail a little bit. Or, you know what? Why don't we do firewood first? That is our goal. And I don't even know. We don't have to go past there right away. So let's at least get firewood down to here, which is going to be a fair amount of work. So first we need to head up to that. So we've put this here. Do we need water? No, we've got enough for now. So that says full. I wonder if you should just top off sometimes to let that thing start refilling itself. Now, I'm not sure what the logic is behind not giving you, like, enough water. I mean, I can see if part of the game was that you had to, get it from the well and bring it over there. That would make sense, but to just have it refill slower, I'm not sure adds that much realism or not to the game. Calling the firewood here like we have to, that does do something. But the good news is, too, by the way, by the smelter, we already have a setup. We have a setup by the ironworks that I know we can use that have an actual setup properly where the train will be on the firewood side for the most part, drop off on another set of tracks. So that'll be good. So we're at least halfway there already with having the different. It's just now going to be a matter of hauling a bunch of cordwood, which I think is over here. $80 a car. So if we have 6 of these cars, you know, you're talking about almost $500. It's not bad. Or, yeah, $500. These 6 cars. No, do we still have 6 cars? I like to check these days. Keep losing cars. Alright, now I think we need to, as we pull in, I think we need to look to see which, I think the last time I was up here I was getting logs. Let's give it some more juice. And we have this firewood thing there, so we'll flip that around, at least until we have a chance to fix them properly. Which I don't think is too unrealistic. It wouldn't be that hard to, I would think, to receive logs on. Yeah, see here we have to switch this one. Stop. Let me stop pretty quick. This one, and we'll have to remember on our way out that we need to flip that one too. Because I will be making a number of trips. One of the reasons I was going to wait a while on making another episode, as I did hauling and just other things around, you know, not doing too much off there other than driving the train around. But I need to get this done so I can do other things like earn us money for the more interesting stuff. Get our final loads carted around. Yeah, look, that one, I'm just looking over there at that water tower, only has 14. Yeah, it only has 14 water in it, so I wonder if it was anything that was on the map already got shorted, but then the new one I put in had said 360, so maybe it's something about it already being on the map caused it to have 0 to start. Yeah, so it would take a while. Think about the whole trip over here, and it only got 14 back. The whole time I've been talking, what's that, 15 minutes, 17 minutes? Probably even a little longer than that from like before I started recording. Yeah, there we go. We got cordwood. Let's not break too hard. Yeah, I'm thinking like right over here, we'll put a firewood stand thing. Let's just pull up so that's right about in the middle. All right, so the idea here, this is like the super cheat spot, by the way. If you want to cheat a lot of money in, you come here, and apparently this is going to give us money and fame. It's going to give us money and firewood. Because we're going to get paid for this delivery. I'm not doing it to cheat the game. I'm just trying to see how far away it is because of that shadow. Let's go like right there and see what that looks like. It looks like it's kind of far away, but let's give it a test because this is how hard it is, right? And let's just see, do we get money? Not for this part. We'll have to get money for the next part. No, I guess I should stand here. I think it's kind of too far away, isn't it? Did it take it? Ah, it took it. And I didn't really even notice if we got money or not. Okay, let's try it again. Alright, so here's another question. Yep, so this is what I was suspicious of. We get 5 firewood for that one piece. So that's really not too bad when you think about it. Yeah, I want to move that closer before we... Just not too much, but a little bit. Just makes me nervous it being that far away. Yeah, even that little bit, that makes me... It's more normal. See, I can just go right across it. That's fine right where it's at. It's kind of getting boxed in here. And you know what we need to do before I forget? This is a derailer here. While we're down here, we might as well flip all the switches, right? And flip this around. So this one, instead of having it where the firewood's on this side, which is very convenient, until we get a chance to put in a switch or whatever, I just want to, because we're not always going to, having the one over there is fine. Oops. All right, having that one over there is fine, but when we're going to get logs, that's not going to cut it. So I don't want to do that. So what I want to do is put this guy in this way, like we did over there, except I can't see. Can I see? Can't really see where it is. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. It's just hitting it now. I think that might be good, even though it's way in the ground. It's so low that I wondered if it... Yeah, did we go and make another... Yeah, let's... Oops, Yeah, let's do another row of that stuff. Constant grade is fine. Except I'm lower there. Oh, is this whole thing downhill or uphill? It's a heck of a place for it. Yeah, you know, I don't really want this. Yeah, that should be better anyway, I hope. Let's go see if we can't place this a little higher up. Yeah, see, I can kind of see now. Okay. Yeah, I think that's certain. I think that's too close. Now it's turned too much. Boy, I tell you, they don't make it easy, do they? I think the thing to do is for me to get it where I can see here. I think that's really not even trying to get it that close. There we go. I think that's good. I just don't want anything to hit it by accident. So I think we have all our switches done. We've got this operation going here. I'm not going to do too much of this, but I do want to fill this thing with firewood. All right, fill our... Maybe we'll do one train load, one car load. Fill this thing, the locomotive. Sorry, daydreaming. I'm going to fast forward, not fast forward, but I want to cut this out because I just thought about it. I really should fill up like the whole train here. Then we'll take some of it down to there, and then let's see what one cartload does. Because when you think about it, 20 pieces will fill that thing up, right? Because each one gives you 5, so 5 times 20 is 100. So you need 20 pieces per 1.5 carts. I'm sorry, 2.5 cartloads will do it, right? Because 2 is 16, and then another 4. It's 20. All right, so now we should be able to do this. Yep, there we go. It's piling up. We got firewood. 5 pieces or 4 pieces? No, 5 pieces in each. So we get 20 pieces of firewood for each. Well, that's not that impressive, is it? And then you got to carry 5 at a time. Yeah, so it is definitely a pain to do it this way. But hey, look, in an emergency, we could almost just leave a cart right there. And I guess, and some, oh, geez, no, don't waste it. putting it in the back. Yeah, they shouldn't. I mean, at some point, they probably should not let you waste it, right? Like, if you miss, they should just, like, keep it in your hand instead of making it. Oh, you know what? What happens if I only empty this one? Do we have to empty these evenly, or else it. Is it going to fill up? Look at all that nice firewood. You know what I'm saying? Does it fill up that one? Look, we already have 40 over there. Want to see, does it keep filling this one up faster? I bet you it doesn't. So we got 40 in each one of those. So 160 pieces of firewood for a cart. So that's not bad. So let me go ahead and keep doing this. You know, I'll fill this guy up to the brim. Might as well take that guy out, and I don't know if I'll do too much more firewood right here. Maybe do one more cart load just so there's enough extra. All right. Now what happens if we do, yeah, see that shouldn't, you can put these in here, but it shouldn't let me keep throwing them in there. Like if it's full, my opinion. All right, well, let me do this for a while, and when we go to actually move the train, I will be right back. Well, I filled the cordwood carts. So that took quite a while, actually. It's not the funnest thing, right? So what we did here was I ended up with 4 extra wood, but if you look, it didn't fill these up all the way. So it did stop when this one got to 100. So I'm not sure how much it matters to you at that point. Like, do you really care? Because if you just keep taking it off of this pile, I guess eventually it'll just won't make more. You'll just have to use it all up, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really matter what order you use those 400 in, unless you want to keep it full and then you can do it evenly. But again, does that really matter if you have plenty of wood there? So we are going to pull all the way down to there and unload. It's hardly worth it, but it does catch that other train, right? Like if we just had this, then this other train couldn't do it. And it's not like this is hard. Then what we're going to do is we're going to back right straight back up and redo what I was just doing. Yeah, see what I mean? Well, I know we don't have full pressure, and I don't want to put more wood in until we need it, type thing. But you can see this train just doesn't pull quite as much, which is fine. I don't want it to be OP. Let's see. This one will be the first time, and I want to do a count. We have the full 6 carts. And we can empty, how many at a time? Can we do 2 at a time? That is kind of far away, isn't it? That's right, this is on a hill. Yeah, let's see if we can do 2 at a time. That'll be another question. Not like that, I don't think. Nah, I'll just do 1. Yep, it's taking it. So it's pretty generous. Yeah, let me back this one up a little. Might need to put wood in. Yeah, they didn't improve this control that way. Until we're on the road, I don't. Yep, it's taking it. So it should hold at least 4 of them. plus another 2.5. I think it may hold all of this. I could have got myself some water when I was right there. Now I'm going way too far again, aren't I? All right, we'll back up and get some water. Taking that one? Yeah, no, you can do two. It's falling on the steps, but it's counting it. 23. Might have to let a little bit of it process, right? Now, is this switched the right way? No, that's... That was almost an accident, but so I don't really need to back up other than to get water, and we need to back up anyway. And speaking of which, I really probably need to put in some wood here. Yep, nothing in there. Probably didn't need to put in 49 though, did I? Just let the brake off. We're going to need that heat in a few minutes when we go to back up. Yeah, I can't really see. It's too much brake. You know what? I can kind of see a shadow or two. Let's try that. Too far. Yeah. Get this one and back it up. It's really almost a whole like car length off, right? Yeah, so let's just see. Oops, wrong thing. See if we can back up just about a car length. That's probably pretty close. Maybe a little bit less. Oops, where am I going? I also want to see if we can get it to a spot. What I'm wondering as far as the mark goes, we would pull it forward. I bet you to about here would be pretty good. All right, which would be, have to do this on the other side. Nah, there's not much room on the other side either. I did that wrong. I want it to be about there. We'll see. We'll test it out next time. So there we go. So now we have to back up. Oh, it took that whole train load, didn't it? Now, did it waste any of it? Should have paid. No. Well, it might have. Well, is this full? Yep. So we could have taken 4 more, which does make sense, right? Because if you just wanted 32 to fill up the wood in here, you would need 4 carloads. And then each one of these gives us 40. So it's going to be 2.5 in more carloads in order to get this amount of firewood. So just to use this much firewood is 2.5 of those cars. And so 6, well, I mean, that's a lot of firewood. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, as much as I use firewood, you know, how often am I even coming up here? It's going to be a long time before I have to go get more firewood brought in there. for this one train's worth. And this is really where I thought we would need the little extra steam to get back up this slight hill. And if we just, if we hadn't put that firewood in. So there we go. Well, let me back up and we'll go do our next exciting firewood run in a few minutes. And I'll just back this guy up to the marks and start filling them up backwards, I guess. And one other thing to note is it definitely would be better, easier if we had more carts, like 8 carts. So I definitely would think I'd want to get 2 more for the loading portion, because then just the way these are spaced out, you can only fill up every other one. So you do the number 1 and 3 and 2 and 4, and I'm going way too fast. I wanted to stop back there. Does that make sense? Yeah, so let's pull forward a little bit more. Do this the way I planned on it. Nope, not really. So in other words, then when you get to these last 2 carts, you don't have a number, you don't have an every other one anymore, which makes it a lot more difficult. Like even where I have this mark now, I'll show you. Pretty close. This is not the most exacting loader. See, this one can only do this 1 cart. I know it's at the very end, but like picture those first 4 are full, and you only have these 2 carts left. You can't really reach that with that other crane to fill them up. And maybe you can find some magic in the middle spot or something, but it still just makes these, you can only be loading 1 at a time, as opposed to using both cranes. So I think I will buy 2 more. Speaking of money, we are making money for this. Yeah, look, we're up over $3,000. So, I mean, it's work, and it's a bit of a pain because there's 4 of these or 8 of these in each cart, which takes quite a while to load all that. But it is beneficial. There we go. We're up $700, I think, in the episode or more, right? All right, let me fill this thing up, and I'll get back with you in a few minutes. Well, we're gliding slowly around the corner here to our firewood drop-off. So I loaded up again with cordwood, and now we have another rail car. Now it's kind of a little bit downhill right here, not too bad. Let's see, I usually can make it down here without putting on the brakes too much, but yeah, we're gonna want them if we want to stop in time, huh? So now, one of the things I was thinking about is, I don't know how to get turned around. I mean, I know I could turn around, but there is no way to turn around as long as those rail cars are in the way there, the logging rail cars, because you can't go back out that way. Pay attention for half a second here. Let's see if we can't stop where we'll get both unloaded. That's probably pretty good. All right, so if the logging cars are here, then I can't just turn around and go back up there. I have to do something else to get this thing turned around. Now, of course, I could just back it. No, that was too far, wasn't it? Or no, you know what? Let's try it again. I think that'll... All right, are we that generous? Yes, we are. Good. Get it. Good. So we'll have firewood here. Again, not the most convenient way of doing it in some respects, because the wood will be all the way over there. But until we get a chance to build better, we'll build what we can. Build what's easy. Build what makes sense. Not always what's better. So this one's going to be harder to judge. Let's go slow. We don't need 22. Let's try brakes. We probably already went too far. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to declare that like 1 step too far. Back up a little bit. So this is probably what I'll be doing for quite a while now, right? Alright, so now we can't go backwards. What? I don't know, the trains get into this, I guess it's probably some almost, oh, what did I do? Tough, tough, tough. Well, we do want to go forward, so... There we go. So good. Two more left. Maybe I'll line it up with the corner there and see if that works. No markers, huh? I'm not sure how hard markers would be to put in, but they would certainly make this a lot easier. What do you think? Should I just back all the way back up there? I think that might be a good spot. Just tried to line up where I thought that curve was. There's one. Well, that's probably a little too far. We'll back up a little bit. Didn't need much. Oop, wrong way. Nope, close enough. So if we take a look, we're up to, 3,500. It's just really not bad money. All right. Well, let me. I'm thinking what I should do with the length of the episode, which isn't too long at this point. Maybe we take like one more ride down to like the ironworks, but already this quickly, that's 2 loads dropped off. This is plenty of firewood for the foreseeable future. We don't even need any right this second. I mean, I'm just going to take it out of the thing, and then maybe what I do is just back up there. I think that would be a pretty reasonable thing to do. If anything goes wrong, I'll start recording the aftermath. But then maybe we'll take a ride together all the way down to the ironworks. While I'm here, probably should, if that's the way we're going to do it, throw these switches. So I'll throw these switches. And then because I could see they're like all wrong. Well, this second one's probably not wrong. But, all right, so we'll throw that. This will be for like the ride in a few minutes. Yeah, this one's right. Then this one's wrong. What about that one? That one's wrong. This one's right. So this one's right here, but that one's wrong. That'll set us down to the ironworks, which is good. We'll have firewood down there, and then, we'll get some up to the smelter. And that'll get us a lot. Like, that'll be, at least for the moment, I think that'll really be enough. Because, if we have it at those locations, they're pretty central. Now, we might end up wanting it at the refinery or the oil fields too, but we could worry about, we haven't even run any trains over there yet, so that's fine. All right, well, let me back this up, and I will be back to, we'll take a trip together. We'll see our new rail line. We'll have to loop around here and back and see how that works out. All right, see you guys in a minute. There we go, another train load of cordwood ready to go. And I think we're ready to go down south after we get some water. So I wanted to check that out with you to see what we have. So let's pull down there first. See how much water is even in the thing, and what does that mean? Like, is the water level 151? Does that mean we need... I mean, this thing only holds 360. Does that mean we don't have enough? I'm not sure what that equates to. Like, how is our water level different from 500, different from this 3600? We really don't need any firewood. We got that thing filled to the brim. We haven't hardly... Oh, no. Wrong thing. Let's go backwards a little bit. Yeah, this is a tough spot on the hill here. Not very forgiving. Yeah, we're going too far the other way. All right, so how much water do we have in there? 52. I don't know what that means. Let's... I'm not sure if we... Yeah, that's 50. I don't know if it's going in there or not. Can't really see. I don't think it is. Let's pull this down a little bit more. Yep, there it goes. So it seems to be going up by 20. Now that... I don't even see how that's possibly related, other than it seems to be working. Let's see. We were down at 150. Yep, so now let's cut that thing off as quick as we can. Or at least quickly if we can. Yeah, so that took us down to 43. What would we say was at 50 some? So, I don't know. I'm sure there's mathematics behind it, but why it went down that much, I have no idea, but we got plenty of water and we're ready to go. So I know when I pull up and I see 360, that means lots of water for days. Don't worry about it. We don't want to go too fast. This is a hill. We got that switch is switched right because we just backed in, which was pretty non-eventful. I thought about, well, maybe I should have showed that, but realistically there wasn't really that much to show. Yeah, I really don't like this switch with this thing. I'm not sure what's going on. And I have been reading the Steam forum since this last update, and people are retracted immediately. It's like, I don't know. I just don't understand why it's so hard, honestly. I mean, it is, I can understand you might not like that extra work that you have to do, but look, we're driving trains. How is this really any different than the game? You know, like, all right, so you have to get firewood out there, and you can't let your thing run out of firewood. I got enough firewood to loop the whole map 17 times. Well, that's an exaggeration, but you get the idea. We don't have fire. We're not going to use that firewood for days. If I run out, it's just because I just didn't know about it, you know, like, which I think is some of the complaint, is that it's new people who haven't played. And, you know, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, sometimes the worst happens, you know? So we'll see. See how it works out for everybody after they figure out what they're doing wrong. Slow down a little bit for this hill. These are my old tracks. I don't trust them as much as my newer, straighter stuff. But I also kind of like the way this is. You do feel like you're going up into the logging area with all the trees kind of close. Like, at one point I thought of cutting more of them down, but then I thought, you know, we're going out to the logging camp. You definitely feel like you're going through the woods on that trail, right? And I think we have all these switches the right way. We'll find out as we pull around the corner here. These two are going to be fine. I always like to go slow, especially that first time on a new run. And this will that's the only other thing with this, is it'll be a new run each time, right? As we come down here and drop off this firewood. Yep, that's the right way. You can see that's leaning the right way. That is leaning the wrong way. Yeah, that's... Or no, is it leaning the right way? That's leaning the right way. Good. We'll give it a little juice. Oh, you know what we need to do? So we pick it up here, but it comes out of back there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, nothing in there. So it means we need another 5. Should take us all the way up to 50. Works every time. So I'm also not understanding exactly. I think it's just the game's hard for some people. I mean, for me, it was hard when I first started it because I wanted it to be the way I wanted it to be. And I didn't accept the way it was, if that makes sense. Like, if you're fighting it, stop, you know? Like, it does work. It's just not working the way you think it should work, if that makes sense. It works the way it works, which it turns out is not that bad in the end. Let's give it a little more juice. Yeah, we're almost running out of wood, being too frugal. These signals are right, that one's right, and that one's right. So now another thing we could probably consider is more firewood over this way, though I don't really think that we necessarily need it, because to be honest, especially if we have a water thing at one end of any of these trips, even if we're going to the coal mine, you're going to have plenty of wood to go all the way out to the coal mine and come back to a certain spot, like you're running around doing that. But it might not be a bad idea to have something in the middle here, you know, for trains that are coming in. Not in this, well, see, that's going to cover everything that's going to cordwood. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot for covering a lot of our routes. And most of these other routes are either going to be from the mines or the smelter down to here. And I think we have plenty to go in between. You know, water we could fill up at either end. That's not an issue, really. All right, well, let me make some noise and be quiet till we get down there. We'll enjoy the peace of the loud, thunderous locomotive. think this is one of the first times you guys have driven through this intersection with me. And it's been working out pretty nice as far as just coming back and forth. But it is a heck of a thing. I do like it. It's my most technologically advanced system so far. Right? So just buzzing back and forth across it. But I'm doing a lot of work to get us to the point where we can... These cars are not cheap. I can't really get into that mode right now, but you know, if we go and look at the cars cost, I forget what the tanker car is, but I think it's like $1,400 for a box car. So it's, you know, if we just want to get two of those. Now, I think the things do hold a lot. Right, the box car holds 24, so you know, you do get your money's worth. Now we have this thing, so I need to back into here to drop this wood off. Now hopefully that run-in is long enough we can back in all of them. So that means I have to drive all around the loop and then come back out and back in there. But that is pretty swervy looking, isn't it? We could probably do better than that. But so this was the plan, was to have that in there. That was built before this update, so I was working towards it. I was just, you know, in the middle about it anyway. And the more I've thought about it too, I mean, this is just a lot of firewood. This trip down here, we put in 10 pieces of firewood. Made it down here pretty easily. That's, you know, your average trip. You know, not a short one, but not the longest in the world either. And you use 10 wood. So maybe you use, what, 20 on a trip all the way up to the coal mine? And back would be like a round trip. Dropping something off might be 30, 40 pieces on a long trip. And in this thing, we're going to have, you know, hundreds. 400 times, you know, 3 probably. You know, you're going to have like 1,200 pieces of wood. That this one trip is going to last us days and days and days of playing, you know. We'll be ready to deliver. We're going to want to deliver cordwood by the time we want something new to do. And I think it adds to the challenge, too, of having to keep this stocked and remember to stock it. For me, that's half the battle. It's not that I don't want to do things. I tend to forget to do things. And so let's see how the whole backing in plan here. So we're going to have to stop and flip that switch when we get up. Not this one, but the next one. And then do we want to put water in here again? I think we're going to be fine. Because the next trip I'll make is back to the lumber, get more cordwood, or back to the logging camp, get more cordwood, and head out to the smelter. And there's another one of these up in the smelter. And I'll probably just keep hauling on my own. Because after that, I think we're in good shape. I don't see myself putting the lumber camp up by the iron mines or anything, so we need to flip this switch. The only negative thing about this is that it does block your view of the switch, this firewood thing right here. So we need to flip this one back, and then we need to go up to the next one, go through it, flip it back, and then back in here. And try to stop in the right spot. You know what we're going to do first, though? Straighten that out a bit. Yeah, I can see what the problem is. It's not the straightest back here, so I'm going to do a little bit more. Well, that's too much. And you know what the other problem I have is it's not that sort of curve out there. All right, I don't know if that's too close or not now, but we're going to find out, and it certainly looks a lot better in my opinion. Oh, did they change the view? I think I just noticed that. Did they not put me back? buried in the view there, like the. 'Cause it always starts you out like here. Like it's, could they start you out like up here would be a lot nicer. Or even just remember the last place you were at would be better than sticking you in the thing there. Let's give it a little more juice. Alright, so we got to get past this one. This isn't too bad either when you think about it. Now the only other problem is, well, we don't want to leave this switched that way. We really probably should pull out and stop, and then, because otherwise that's not going to be the kind of thing that you normally look for to be the wrong way. Alright, I think that's pretty close. I think we're past it. Yep. So yeah, maybe we'll pull out and then we'll stop again and come back here and do that. But I could always, oops, need to fix that too. Let's fix that right now. Since I will theoretically be doing this quite a few times, you know? Make a nice path the whole way up there, people path. There we go. Well, that dresses it up already. It's going to make me have to do all the rest of it, isn't it? So you know what's coming. You're going to see some gravel in there one of these episodes. It'll especially now, yeah, especially now that I did that right there. Yeah, now it's just screaming that the other side has to be done. Oops, sorry, jumped out. Let's do reverser. What's the time of the episode so far? Yeah, we're due, so we're not. Let's go. We're moving. Yeah. So there we go. Let me unload the first bit of this firewood with you guys, and then I'll unload the rest and I'll take another trip. But we will have recovered fully by the time I take the second trip, especially out to the smelter. I think that'll be every place we had firewood working. It's just a matter of keeping them filled with cordwood. And that really shouldn't be too bad, depending on how low you let them get. So it's probably worth adding them to my list, huh? Yeah, I could even put cordwood on there somehow, like just call this a requirement of this place, you know, like say, because I have a list of all the different things on a spreadsheet. I think I'm there. I think I need to stop. All right, let's go look. It's kind of tight. Yeah. Look at that though. It hit. Yeah, it's too close. Yeah, will it count when it's too close? Yeah, it counts. Too close. Oh, I shouldn't have done that because it's... Yeah, it's just too close for comfort. So I need to move the train forward again, don't I? Yeah, let's pull this guy forward and move that to the right length. We're gonna have to. I don't want to get in too much of a rush because I am getting. I've noticed the recordings themselves have been an issue. I think I just need to take this whole track up. Start at the right length at the depot itself, or at the right distance away. Because that time I kind of brought it in from afar, like, yeah, just want to get you even further off of here, just in case. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I don't know how that didn't cause a problem, actually. Yeah, I think I just need to... This was not straight, and this I think I've been fighting the whole thing because of that. And we can always just redo that, right? So the real trick is going to be, let's get one of these right at the right length, the right distance. Is that too close? Yeah, probably. Let's go a little tiny bit further away. Yeah, it's going to be perfect. Sit back here. Let's make it perfectly close enough to I didn't click the button. That'll be absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's not perfectly straight, but I think we'll be okay. It's definitely getting a little bit too close right there. That was not very well done. Yeah, why did it look so straight from here? Then it got so crooked by the time I got to the other end. But otherwise, it looks really good. And we'll redo it again, because... Yeah, this time let me go from this way. Maybe that'll give me a better... Yeah, maybe do this, right? Oh, that's too close. Just curve it ever so slightly towards the middle of this thing. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think it'll be just fine. Probably would have been fine 3 other times I did it, but this game has to bring out your meticulous side eventually when it comes to these tracks. If you don't have a meticulous side, you're going to fight with this game in an unpleasant way. if you're trying to build your own tracks, maybe you can join somebody else's map and just drive the trains around, which is fine. Just all right, so let's drop off one officially where we're not too close. I did want to show that too because I think it's... Oops, wrong way. Yeah, they messed up. Whoever messed with this thing made me not happy too. I don't think it's the end of the world, but it's definitely not as good. And again, hopefully some of these things will be changed by the time you even watch this. And I'm not going to make any more episodes. I'm going to just do some work. You're going to see that we're going to have like a fair amount of money, and I'm going to try to get things pretty much backed up. I guess we're going kind of fast. It looks like we're pretty close to it. Should have put a marker. I was too worried about how close we were to the... Ah, yeah, look at that. That's perfect. Yeah. Not perfectly back far enough, but you know, and that's probably a pretty good judgment. I would say I'm going to put a marker. All right, I want to go back till about that wrong thing. To about where that marker would be, like here, like halfway. Let's see if that works out. Because I think that, let's just see, I think that's about... Now, I should have gone back like 2 cars worth, but I can always, if we get the... Yeah, see, that'll be a good mark, because I can unload 2 cars at a time. Right, there you go. So we're getting more firewood. Wonderful. And then, like, I can skip a car too, right? So I can say the next stop backing up will be here. Is that mark right in the middle? Because that's a good mark. Yep, good mark. And then the next one after this will be easy because we'll be right there. Right now, if we ever have more cars, we'll have to find a spot further out there. But we should be able to just back right up. And I really do need to end this episode. We're probably already having sound problems because it's this long. Could try to cut some out. We'll see. Maybe I'll even do 2 parts, right? You'll know by the time, before I do. Well, that's not true, but you'll know in the near future. There we go. That should. See, the next one will be easy because we just have to back up. Yep, that's perfect. There, we can even grab some firewood while we're here. Now, there is a whole nother row to that, so we could. I figure I'll try to keep it. I'll consider full so I don't ever waste it, like anywhere up on that. All right, see how there's another row there, but I just won't even bother filling more than that. That's a weak supply. So there we go. So now we just have to back up and do the rest. But I better get going. I'll get back to work and I'll get us some more money. So that, you know, one of the things I want to do is get those last things hauled, right? We've got a lot more stuff to bring down here. I need to get coal down to here, so that's fairly involved with getting lumber to the iron mill and then the rails that we need over at the coal mine. And so I'm just trying to do some of that running around, repetitive stuff. And then once we get a few more bucks and we can start playing some more with some more locomotives, we'll come back out and do it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for all your likes and subscriptions. I definitely appreciate when people do that. So have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.